going to do an after-action report and a brief discussion of gameplay for Thermopylae, the Hot Gates. This is from DVG Games, which was kind enough to send me this copy. Thank you, Sarah. And is part of the Heroic Stand series. I'll put a link to this unboxing and to my coverage of the Heroic Stand series as they come live. This is created by Amos Burke and is basically a solitaire game, although can be played cooperatively. You just divide up the cards that you draw for the Spartans and take turns going after the Persians. So let's take a look at where I ended up. So this is the after action portion of the game. I lost and I put it on the easiest level. I put it on level 1 and I lost because the goat path right here got all the way to the defeat. This is that goat pass that or path, what do you want to call it, that goes behind the kind of the cliffs and the mountain ridge, and allowed the Persians to get behind the Spartans and basically cut them off and attack from both sides to their ultimate slaughter. So I lost because I drew a goat path card that, well, right here, that pushed it to the end. So, but came pretty close. I mean, there was only 2 cards left in the Persian card draw pile. So, I mean, I was really close to winning this game. If I could have got those 2 cards out, I would have won. However, I think these 2 cards are both goat paths as well. So it was inevitable. You have goat path cards in both the Persian deck and in the Spartan deck. I drew too many of the ones from the Spartan deck, so that I didn't have enough buffer to stave off the ones in the Persian deck. So there you have it. That's how I lost. It was getting kind of tough too because the cards I had in my hand, you can have 6 cards in your hand at any one time. And as the Spartans, I had pretty low values. I had 13, 11, 3 11s. And these were pretty much, well, that one was going to be helpful, Thespian allies, but shields were pretty much useless. I think I played all the archer cards that does that. So got close, but, not enough, got a defeat. Also advanced I fell back. I had one more fallback to draw a card to try to beef this up, because what I had showing out here was 17, 19, and 17. Might be able to take a 13, add some hero cards to it, and a Leonidas card to add an extra roll if needed. But the goat pass took me down. All right, so how do you play this game? Well, you're going to have 6 cards in your hand, start off with, and there's going to be one face-up card in each of these areas. This one, you would not have that face-up because you would discard it and draw another card when that happens. But you're going to have a face-up card in each one of these 4 locations, and you're going to have a face-down card in each one of these locations. I happen to have a face-up card here. I had scouts where I was able to reveal the face-down cards. But then you're going to make a decision to take a card and go against one of these positions. And 13 to 17, I'm going to lose that. So if you're on one of these locations has a die, of course, this is level 1, so each one of the locations have a die. So I can roll dice and add that. So 13 and 2 is 15. I'm still probably going to lose 17. You have to at least equal or exceed. So you can start using these hero cards, which are +1s. You can use as many of those as you want. The problem with those, when you use those, you're giving up laurels. And so you want to keep some of these cards to have victory points at the end, have laurels at the end. You can also use these Leonidas cards, but you only have a certain number of these. But you can use these, I think you have 5. You can use these to roll an extra dice as well. So, and then there's certain cards in here you can play together, like these Thespian allies. It'll be +4 to attack. So between these +1s, adding a die, you can only use one of those a turn, and any of these cards here that allow you a modifier. There's not a ton of those though, but add a modifier, plus the die you get from this if you are using this, if it's on that space where you're at. you add all that up and then beat this. And if you beat this, you can go after this, flip it over, and if you beat that, then you remove both of them and you've knocked out 2 cards out of the game. If you don't beat that, then that's going to stay out there and you're going to discard your card. You like to beat these guys because, see that symbol, the Spartan symbol, that means you get to draw a card. Drawing cards is really the scarce resource in this game. You start off with 6, but you don't draw any more cards during the game unless you defeat Persians that have this symbol right here. If you that's one way to draw cards. Another way to draw cards is when you do the fallback. You like in this level 1, you start here. When you fall back, you're able to draw a card. And you can do that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in the game at level 1. There's different levels of difficulty on here. You go up to level 6, you only get to roll a die 1 time, but you can fall back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and you get to roll a die if you get to that end there. But that's the only time you get to draw a die. That's one way of doing it as a set difficulty level. You also have these random cards, and you'll always put this as the last card, the final stand. But you have these random cards that either you retreat or you hold, and if you hold, you get a die. But these are random setup, and you'll take 5 of these and add that to the final stand as the last card, which you'll get a die there. You can go that route. So there's different ways to mix this up. You can go with different difficulty levels, or you can go with the random difficulty level. That adds a little bit of spice to the game. But that is the game. Your job is to make sure the Persians run out of cards before you get to the goat path or you run out of cards. And I had a decent number of cards left, so I was doing pretty good. But again, I was on the easiest difficulty level. This is by no means a how to play the game, so don't take my word for it. But this is read the rules. But I thought this would give you at least a little bit of a feel for how the game's played with an after-action report. So I'm thinking about whether setting this up again or going to the next in the series. There's 3 currently out in this Heroic Stand series. Maybe I'll jump onto the next one and give you another after-action report. Anyway, that's what I have for you today. If I messed anything up, I'm sure you will all tell me, which I am apt to do. Anyway, take care. Thanks for watching.